We're staying with drawing Demo 01 in the Demo 04 project in the Project Manager. And what we're going to look at now is dynamic input. Now again, dynamic input is set from the status bar in the drafting settings, and it's normally on by default in AutoCAD. It's just down here, it's this one here. There's dynamic input there, also known as DYN mode or DYN quite often as well. Now what you can do is you can actually set your dynamic input settings. So let's have a look at that now by right-clicking, and I go to Dynamic Input Settings. Again, they're in the Drafting Settings dialog box underneath the Dynamic Input tab. Now I normally enable pointer input by ticking that one there and enable my dimension input where possible. If you look now at pointer input, you can see that it gives you the coordinates or the dynamic prompts. As you can see, you've got the coordinates in the top box there, and also you've got specify first point prompt there as a dynamic sample prompt. And also where it says dimension input, you can see as you're drawing that red line, the cursor and the dynamic input are prompting you for the length of that line. Now what you'll also notice is you can change the settings of the pointer input and the dimension input. So let's look at the settings for pointer input first. And what I can do here is I can actually set the points: polar, Cartesian, relative, absolute, all standard AutoCAD settings. What I always do for visibility is I show coordinate tooltips when a command asks for a point, not as soon as I type coordinate data. That's just the way I work. You can change these settings if you want to. So I'll just cancel that one now. And also I've got settings here for dimension input, where I can show 2 dimension input fields at a time, normally a distance and an angle, or you can show the following dimension input fields simultaneously. Things like resulting dimension, angle change, arc radius, and so on. I don't tend to change any of these settings. I use the default settings. It's up to you if you want to change these. And notice there's a little hint there. You can tab to switch to the next dimension input field, which I will show you in a moment. So I'll just click on cancel there. Also, I can show command prompting and input near the crosshairs, show additional tips with the command prompting as well. Again, I leave those ticked. And my drafting tooltip appearance, if I click there, as you can see, there's the distance and the angle both in model and layout. I can change the colors if I wish. I don't want to change the colors, but I can if I want to, so I'll just cancel that too. Size, transparency, and I can override the OS settings for all drafting tooltips. The OS in my case being Windows 8.1. So I'm just going to cancel that as well. All of those settings I'm going to leave as they are. So what I've done there is taken you through all of the settings for dynamic input down on the status bar. So what I'm going to do now is click on OK. We'll end this video, and then in the next video, we'll look at utilizing dynamic input to draw some lines, both straight lines and lines at angles. So I'll click on OK there, and then we go on to the next video.